Hi, I'm Jeff Kropscott, President of Kropscott Consulting Partners, and I appreciate you taking the time today to join us for the first installment of a multi-installment series on risk and compliance matters that we believe will be of great benefit and interest to leaders of trust companies, trust departments, and investment advisory firms. Risk assessment, we believe, is one of those topics that doesn't get as much attention or appreciation as perhaps it should, especially with the benefits that accrue to a company through the reduction of costs, scalability of resources, and the education of associates that get involved in the risk assessment process. I became acquainted with the risk assessment process to some extent while I was an examiner, and then later when I became a chief compliance officer with two broker-affiliated trust companies. With the first of those two companies, we became subject to regulation by a federal regulator who during their first examination looked at the risk assessment process. Specifically, they asked to see a copy of our risk assessment, and we replied that we did not have a risk assessment. We asked how they might provide some guidance and insight on how we'd go about creating a risk assessment, to which the regulator said, "We don't have any information or guidance on that topic, but certainly we'll be happy to come back and take a look at what you've developed and let you know during the next exam how you did." 18 months down the road, our federal regulators came back. They were pleased with what we had done. So pleased, in fact, that they invited us to Washington, D.C. to provide continuing education and training on best practices on risk assessment for their examiners. There are many types of risk assessments that can be performed. Back in my days as a chief compliance officer, we would perform general risk assessments on matters that would cover the whole trust company. We'd also perform targeted risk assessments like anti-money laundering or information security. We might from time to time talk on product-specific or process-specific risks, or delve into compliance or other risks that were of interest to the company. At the end of the day, our charge was to facilitate a process where we would identify risks, prioritize those risks, and then have discussion with senior leadership about those risks that we thought could have a significant impact on the company's ability to achieve its strategic objectives. There's so much benefit that can be derived, as I mentioned before, from the risk assessment process, not the least of which is cost reduction and scalability. And we look forward to, in our next episode, talking about specific situations, specific stories, and illustrations that will help you to see that benefit. We look forward to speaking with you later this week and hope you find great benefit in participating in this video installment series over the course of the next several weeks. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you in a few days.